Hey guys, welcome to another Ask BIG video. In this video, Joel asks, Hello Bharat, how did you stay motivated when you started a course completely in a new language? What was going through your mind? How did you manage to pull it through? I look forward to your advice. And this is a very nice question, and I think these kind of questions are very nice conversation starters, even if you are like going to some kind of event whatsoever, you know somebody, and you know that they have done something very differently. The entire point of this YouTube channel, Bharat in Germany, was that a lot of people come to Germany, but they come to Germany to study in English taught programs. They do their masters, bachelors, whatsoever. Many of them also come for the German taught ones, but the difference is there that nobody decides to actually just document the experience so that it is easier for the other people who are going to follow their footsteps. When I was starting out, for me it was like so difficult because I wasn't able to understand how the entire application process works very easily. There were no videos about the application fee whatsoever. Now at least I've created that database all together, and anybody who needs something, they can just like come to YouTube, search for different kind of things, and almost all of the information is already covered directly on YouTube. So my point was that, alright, like this is something different. Studying in German language is going to be harder. I knew that. I also understood that if I'm able to pull it off nicely, then the opportunities I will have will be a lot more than anybody who comes to study in an English short program. For most of the international students who come to Germany, they have a lot of hopes, and they also have a lot of fears. For an international student, being able to make it in a different country could range anywhere from you solving almost all of your life problems because you're settled, you know where you're getting your salary, you know you're able to pay off your debts whatsoever, to you just, coming to Germany for just an exchange experience. So this could be something very light. So maybe like many people don't feel so strongly about doing the right things when they start their studies in Germany, and I totally understand that. Maybe for some people it's just an experience, they want to go to a different country, experience the culture for a while and then just go back. For me, when I came in 2016, that was not an option. I had to make it in Germany, I had to get a good job, and I had to be able to settle myself here so that I could live the dream that I always had, that I would just someday get settled in Germany, have a nice car whatsoever. Well, those days are not yet here, but just like go in that direction. And this is what I wanted. For me, like it was not just as simple as, I'm just going to do the masters. If it works out, fine. If it doesn't work out, great, I'll go back to India. Absolutely not. I come from a small city in India, Kurukshetra. This city lies in Haryana. And growing up, of course, like you have a lot of nice experiences, but most of the times with all of the bureaucracy and the way like people behave, when you essentially don't have any kind of like leverage or power, or like sometimes even the entire stories with bribes and stuff, this was something I absolutely hated. And my entire time, like when I was in Germany, when I came for my internship, when I came before that for my conference in 2014. So 2014 was the conference where I met Alina. 2015 was the internship where I was getting to know the work culture better. And then 2016 was when I finally moved. So like if you see, like I kind of like dipped my toe and like see like how it is going to be able to live in Germany, and whatever I saw, like I really liked it. So I had no doubt going forward that yes, this is the right decision to make. It can wipe the slate clean with all of the reservation nonsense and everything that happens in India, which I'm absolutely not a huge fan of. I saw this as a leveled playing ground, even though you are still in a disadvantage because you as a foreigner who is not maybe very proficient in German, especially not as much as a native speaker, I saw the positive side too. I saw that like I have my studies from a different country, I'm proficient in English, and if I learn German, it is going to give me a lot more opportunities. Because if you think about it from a business standpoint, that's generally what my perspective is these days, because I went from being a student, working part-time jobs in different companies, to now like being an employer and able to give employment to two other people in these hard times. And we're looking for a third one. If you have to do a compulsory internship as a part of your studies in marketing, management, business administration, or similar fields, and you're a student at a German university, send us your CV and cover letter and tell us about your motivation of doing your internship here. We do a lot of stuff like with marketing consulting. So BIG is a side thing. The main thing is Brandavise, where we do a lot of marketing consulting. We build different kind of marketing campaigns for companies, and we take care of the Facebook and YouTube ads and so on. So if you want to like learn all of that stuff, write us an email and we'll be happy to hear from you. So like I was saying, from the business standpoint, if you think about you have to give somebody 3,000 euros, 4,000 euros, 2,000 euros, whatsoever, you will always think what will be the best value you can get from your money. Now, you can either invest the 3,000 euros in somebody who just knows one language, be it English or be it German, and he doesn't have the proficiency for the second language. And with that, it essentially means that you're getting less value out of your money, because if there are some kind of like more international tasks happening or tasks happening in the DACH region, then you cannot give the tasks to either of these people entirely. Like you have to just like figure out some kind of like middle way, and this is what like most of the companies don't want. That's why you will see now increasingly people expect you to have German proficiency and English proficiency when you're applying to any kind of jobs, right? So as a foreigner or as an international student who comes to Germany to study and then afterwards is really motivated that yes, this is my time to make it. It is my time to create a level playing field and then rise up from there. I think for them this is a very nice motivation, because if you are able to clear your entire studies in German, the opportunities that you have afterwards, that are insane. And this was my main motivation going forward in 2016. I was like, okay, like there was no idea of YouTube whatsoever. Like I didn't even come to the idea of YouTube like till January 2017, when I like essentially started the YouTube channel right away. So it was not the plan. So I was just going to the university, sitting in the lectures. In the starting, I was really disheartened because things turned out to be a lot more difficult than I expected. Also, I was like just not feeling it. I was like, maybe structural engineering could be something different, because my experience in my internship was so wonderful that I was like, this would be more interesting than I was thinking. But the study started, I kind of like lost interest there. So I was like, I of course cannot like quit the studies, because that was also a thought that came in my mind. But of course I talked to my friends in bachelors. Somehow the only friends I have are still from the bachelors, but they're the nice ones, so like I can like always like count on them to like talk about anything. So I talked to them, and then of course like it was not a feasible plan to just quit your studies and like stop doing everything and like go back to India and things like that, because again at that time I also had a family. So I was married to Alina. Then I definitely had to figure something out, and I had to figure it out in a way that like finances are not a problem, because I don't care what people say, but like financial problems are one of the worst problems other than health that you can have in any kind of relationship, especially when you have to just like turn every single cent twice and then think about spending it somewhere. That was then my second motivation, that all right, I'm not feeling structural engineering. What should I do? Then I was thinking about doing my master's in international management and engineering, mainly because I talked to the alumni of those programs and I had a nice feedback from them. They were like, yes, the salary and stuff is very nice, and especially if you're able to like finish the entire studies with a good grade. So I was like, that's another goal for me, and I think this is where I'm going to head now, because with structural engineering, like the best you get, like with no experience after you're done with your masters, is somewhere around 3,300 to 3,600 euros per month. But if you do the same with management and engineering, and if you're like working as a business analyst or something, and you maybe like end up working in even like, let's say, starting with operational management positions and stuff, it is much higher. It's like anywhere from 3,800 to 4,200 euros. So this was my motivation again. The motivation was the opportunities, and that kept me hooked in the entire studies. I was like, okay, if this is not working out, I'm going to see the next best thing. I think I also like got into marketing by seeing that like when you compare all of the different kind of management fields, the people who are into marketing are generally paid the most, because without marketing, nothing can run. Like you can have the fanciest product on the planet, but if you do not know how to like educate the people about it, what kind of benefits it has, what kind of people are suited for this product and things like that, and tell stories, the business cannot run. So I was like doing some kind of like research there during my studies, and I was like, marketing is an interesting field, you get paid well. So this was then my motivation going forward in marketing, and turns out that I just kind of deviated from everything, and I head into this different direction of having my own like marketing consulting company, where I help different kind of companies to manage and build their marketing campaigns on social media platforms and like take care of their advertisements and stuff. And most of the companies that I have been working with so far are German companies. And this is nice, because even though this was not something that I wanted in the starting, because the plan was always to like get a nice job in a nice company and stuff, but this is good enough because I can choose my own projects. I can work without any kind of resentment that I have to work longer or something, because for me, I don't have any weekends. I didn't have a weekend or any kind of like just like vacation whatsoever ever since January 2017. It has been all just like trying to build things further and further and further. So maybe this entire story like sums up my motivation and what was going through my mind when I was going through the German taught program, because of course it was very difficult. It was painful to give like presentations sometimes in the starting, especially when I had to like repeat my sentence every second time. And like just write very kind of not grammatically correct like assignments and things like that. But I knew that all of this is for something better in the end. And all of this is going to take me to a place where most of the other people will be too, let's say, comfortable to not to do it, right? Like most of the other people will be like, yeah, why should I like waste all of this time, all of this nerves? Because I can just get the same degree in English. And of course you can get that. You can learn German on the side. Like, you know, you can do all of those things, but it will never be the same like you doing a German taught program with an English background and just like getting inside that German work environment, German colleagues and so on, and also being able to use them as like very nice resources to able to build your own network. So all of these things are very important. I hope you learned something from this video. Please let me know in the comments. Season 2 is coming up very soon. I had a call with the month 1 candidates yesterday. So we have like discussed all of the things. Recordings will start happening soon. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.